She sat alone in her big house, the silence heavy like a stone. Her eyes were red, her heart broken. His words still rang in her ears. She gives me everything you never could. He had looked straight at her when he said it. No shame, no pity. Just cold words that cut deep into her soul. And she had begged him, on her knees, please, please don't leave me. But he walked out that night, slammed the door, left her alone in the house they had built together. What he did not know was, she was richer than the woman he had run away with. Much, much richer. This was her story. Her name was Amina. She came from a wealthy African family. Her father had businesses in real estate and farming. Her mother owned schools and clinics. From a young age, Amina had learned about money. But she also learned to be humble. She did not wear flashy clothes. No big gold chains, no designer bags. She dressed simple, drove an old car, lived quietly. When she went to university, no one knew who she really was. She liked it that way. She wanted friends who liked her for her, not for her money. That was when she met him. His name was Juma. Juma was different. He worked 2 jobs, sold small electronics, fixed phones, took extra classes. Always full of dreams. I will be rich one day, he always said. Amina liked his spirit, his hunger for a better life. Slowly, they became close friends first. Then love grew. Even when they started dating, Amina never told him the full truth. She wanted him to love her for who she was. She told him she did small online work. In truth, she was managing millions in shares, properties, and a big trust fund her father had left for her. They got married. Amina was happy. She loved him. Truly, she wanted to support his dreams. When Juma wanted to go for more studies, Amina paid his fees, paid for their rent, bought their first car. He never asked how she got the money. He thought she just worked online. I am the man, Juma often said. I must lead this family. Amina smiled. She didn't need the credit. She loved him. But slowly Juma began to change. He started going out more. Said it was for business. His phone was always locked. He came home late. Sometimes didn't come at all. Amina could feel it. Something was wrong. One evening, Juma forgot his phone on the table. A message popped up. Can't wait to see you tonight, love. Amina's heart stopped. She opened the phone. There were pictures, videos. Him with another woman. Beautiful woman with light skin, wearing designer clothes, big sunglasses, driving a Range Rover. The woman looked rich. Very rich. Amina stared at the photos, her hands shaking, her breath short. When Juma came home that night, Amina was waiting. She asked him, "Who is she?" Juma did not deny. He just looked at her coldly. "She gives me everything you never could." He said. Amina cried, begged him. "I stood by you, paid for everything. Please don't do this." But Juma had made his choice. He packed his things and left. Soon after, photos of him and the new woman were all over Facebook. Parties, hotels, expensive restaurants. People talked. Juma has moved on with a rich woman. They said friends pitied Amina. She is finished now, they whispered. But no one knew the truth. No one knew Amina was richer than both of them combined. She owned lands, buildings, stocks. She had money in banks across 3 countries. She did not tell anyone. She stayed silent. She watched as Juma and his new woman showed off online, bragging about their trips to Dubai, their new house, their new car. But Amina smiled quietly because she knew something they didn't. The woman Juma had run to was not as rich as she showed. Many of her things were rented. Many of her photos staged for social media. And Amina owned shares in the very fashion company the woman was promoting, owned land near the hotel they liked to visit. Slowly, Amina began to move her pieces. Quietly, no drama, no noise. Because true power does not shout. It moves in silence. And soon, Juma would learn that lesson. Months passed. Juma and his new woman, Pamela, became the talk of town. Everywhere they went, people watched them. Pamela wore gold, drove a big car. posted photos of her and Juma at expensive places, beach resorts, fancy hotels, new restaurants. People talked. Juma has found a better life, they said. Amina must be suffering. They whispered, but Amina was calm. She did not fight. She did not cry in front of anyone. Inside, her heart was broken. Yes, but her mind was sharp. She knew the truth. Pamela's wealth was not what it seemed. Much of it was loans, borrowed clothes, staged photos, and Amina. Amina had true wealth. Quiet, steady, powerful. She had shares in companies that paid Pamela to promote their clothes. She owned buildings that housed the shops where Pamela showed off. And now she made a plan. Not for revenge, for power. For respect. She moved quietly. First, through a company that could not be traced to her. She bought more shares in the fashion brand that Pamela always promoted online. Soon, she had enough power to speak with the board of that company. One quiet meeting. No loud words. Just one decision. Pamela's contract with the company would not be renewed. No more free clothes. No more big checks. Pamela didn't know why. One day her posts stopped showing new fashion. No more tags. No more promotions. People noticed, but that was only the beginning. Next, Amina looked at the apartment where Juma and Pamela were staying. Through her connections, she found out the apartment was rented, not owned. The landlord was an old business. Friend of Amina's mother. One phone call. Quiet. When the lease ended. It was not renewed. Juma and Pamela had to move out. They searched for a new place. But news spreads fast in high circles. Other landlords were not quick to take them in. Their life of shining photos began to fade. Still, Amina did not stop. She bought more properties, more shares, and then came the day that surprised even her. Juma called. Can we meet? He asked. Amina was calm. She agreed. At the cafe, Juma sat across from her. He looked tired. Not like the proud man who had left her months ago. He spoke carefully. I miss how peaceful life was with you, he said. Amina looked at him. You left because I was not on your level, she said softly. Juma looked down, shame on his face. He did not know. He did not know that Amina now owned part of the very company that had funded much of Pamela's image. He did not know that Amina had quietly removed the ground beneath them, and Amina would not tell him. She smiled gently. I wish you well, she said. But I have moved on. She stood and left. No anger, no bitterness, just quiet strength. Days later, people began to notice Pamela was no longer posting photos at fancy places. No more designer bags. No more yachts. Rumors spread. What happened? People asked. Amina never said a word. She focused on her work, her family, her businesses. But inside she knew respect had returned. And Juma, he watched from afar. The woman he had left behind now stood taller than ever. He had chased shiny dreams and lost. Because true power does not need to shout. It moves in silence. And when it moves, the world shifts.